Greetings, salutations, happy Thursday, April the 16th, 2026. It's going to be 89 degrees in New York City today, and we are a mere 66 days away from summer. But today, it feels like summer is already here, and then it'll drop down to regular spring, cool temperatures tomorrow. So I have to say I'm kind of looking forward to almost 90-degree weather today. This is going to change this year. I'm sure it will change, but right now I'm happy about it. I'm warming up. How are you doing today? Oh, yes, I know. You're feeling incomplete because you don't have the trivia that you you couldn't live without. So let me bestow upon you factoids that will do nothing to help you do your business, but maybe be interesting. I don't know. Scientist Isaac Newton knighted today in 1705. Knighted. There was a magnitude 7.0 earthquake in Eureka, California this day in 1899. And Annie Oakley hit 100 clay targets in a row, setting a women's record in 1922. So now you have been made whole. Your mind is fertile and full. And, I guess my work is done. Well, maybe not. There's a couple more things. Yesterday, exhausted. I don't think I fully appreciated how exhausted I actually was. And I was mentally struggling through the day. I was still working at a different pace. I had to run some errands. I do a couple hours of driving. But I was just head to toe, inside and out, just exhausted from the day before. And one of you, a loyal listener and a very good friend of mine, a longtime colleague and friend, who's just awesome. She called me up in the afternoon. She listens to this most days, not every day, I think, but most days. And so I start, I answer the phone. Oh, how are you doing? And I start telling her what's going on. She goes, yeah, I listened to your, episode. I'm caught up. I just laugh. But the power of having people who really see you and appreciate what you're going through and know the struggle and can reflect back on, can see how you're doing, or can see, for example, I did a presentation last year and I can't bring myself to watch it. I was in such a bad state about myself during this talk, because I was realizing I needed I needed to launch a bigger stage is what I needed to do. And I hadn't quite done it yet. And she said, she says, if someone didn't know you, they would think, wow, this is a great presentation. Knowing you and knowing, the other, having seen me operate on different stages, she said, yeah, I could tell you were, it wasn't, she didn't say this, but I took away, it wasn't your absolute, knock it out of the park from your point of view performance, but it was a great performance. And, that just reminds me, it's like we need people who can reflect back on us and tell us what they really see and come from a place of love and support. And it just makes all the difference in the world. And so, I think that's really the sentiment for today, is having people in your life and it's not going to be everybody. I mean, I've had people who I thought were good friends and things like that have just, for whatever reason, they're not in my life anymore. Sometimes it's my choice. Then I know the reason. Sometimes it's not my choice and I don't know the reason. I think you get old enough and this is going to happen a number of times, and letting go is really painful. But then the few people, and by few, I mean actually quite a few. In my case, I'm very blessed, but it does cull down to an inner circle, however big or small that is, of people who really are rooting for you and where there's such mutual support. And that core group is absolutely critical. So caring and feeding those people and keeping them, close and checking in and those sorts of things, I think is really, really important, especially on a day when you're just exhausted in every way. And it means so much to plug into a power source, in somebody else. So thank you. Thank you to my friend who called me yesterday. I really appreciate you. And I think that's the main topic for today, is really leaning on those people, allowing them in too. I mean, sometimes we can, if you're tired or you're upset or you're feeling despair or whatever it is, I know isolation can be one of the things, but that just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. All right. So what's going on this week? Well, it's already Thursday. I don't know how that happened. I am heading into Midtown. I've got a meeting this afternoon, a couple of meetings online beforehand. It's going to be 90. Preparing for that presentation next week, which I'm really excited about. And as always, when I'm preparing for a presentation, I start off going, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm going to say. It won't be, blah, blah, blah. And then I point my brain at it and I go about my business, and then the insights come. And the last couple of days, a story from my past came up that's going to be right on point. And so I've been kind of retelling that story and crafting it in a way that's going to be most useful for that presentation and beyond. And so again, just delighting in the creative process of that. The fermentation of these things is really, really important. So with a little bit of time and pointing your mind in the right direction, you ferment something pretty deep. All right. So with that, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you all the very best in whatever your endeavors are today and beyond. Thanks as always for listening. Be good to yourself and others, and we will check back again with you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.